Hello again guys. Today, quite excited, going to do the Z-axis install of the DIY CNC kit. Brian at CNC for You has told me reliably this should take me half an hour to an hour. I have assembled the couple of Allen keys that I'll need for the bolts on this and to take the handle nut off. I have the ball screw, the top plate, the saddle driver, and I've also got a collet spanner. The only foreseeable problem is the locking nut on the top of the existing screw threaded rod. So we'll see if that's a problem or not. If it is, I'll just have to pause there, get the right tool and then continue from there. But looking forward to this. This is the start of the machine getting converted properly. So far all it's been is a little waffle about the kit. Today we're actually going to put some of the kit in, and then over the next few days, week or so, we'll get the other two axes done and then start on the electronics. I've got the instructions printed out to refer to, and I'm going to basically follow along with those. Okay, so like I say, going to crack on, do the Z-axis install. I've had a quick look around it, taken a couple of screws out, quick check at a few things, popped it back together for the purposes of making this go hopefully reasonably seamlessly. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this handle off, because behind here you can't get the second axis lock engaged because of where the handle is and this nylock nut. So I've got the instructions on the table. I'm just going to follow them step by step. Obviously, as you can see, the camera's focusing on this area, so you're getting half of me, which is, some might say, a good thing. So today I'll get the Z-axis done. Brian reckons about an hour, maybe, if that, so we shall see. The tools required, I've got sockets, but to be honest, I just really didn't want to run around the house looking for them. I'm going to pop this off. One of the things to be careful of when you take this off, there's a washer here, but also the shaft has a key for the handle, obviously, to turn it, so you just have to be careful with that. So just wiggle this off gently, and then just watch for the key coming out. Alright, so I want to pop that over here on the bench just now out of the way, and I'll make sure that I don't lose those. The washer and the nut, once I've tightened this up, I'm just going to pop back on here, just out the way a second. Just make sure that, yeah, that's what you have to watch. This binds otherwise. So just tighten that just now. This is coming off in a few minutes, and I don't need to adjust this now until after I've moved the head. So just going to tighten this up a little bit on the shaft so that later on I know what it is and we don't lose it. What I'll also do, probably I suspect, before I put this away, because I'll keep it, is I'll pop the handle back onto this with a key in there so we don't lose that either. Right, so the main thing here is we need to take this top plate off. In order to do that, we have to take this top cover off. So like I say, done that. Take these screws out, just pop them up here. Now you need some of these four, okay, but I don't think you need these again. These are 4mm hex cap bolts, or whatever you want to call them, but 4mm Allen key is doing these just now. I'm just putting the screws on the top here just now for safekeeping. Warm in here today. So those of you that have been watching along so far, I hope this is interesting. It's obviously very niche, you know. It's not the sort of thing that's going to get 40 million views, that's for sure. Okay, so step one was to lock the collar in place. Step two was to remove the 4 cap head bolts and the top hat. And step three is to remove these locking nuts. Now these are 28mm outside diameter lock nuts for a 16 by 1.5mm threaded rod. Now luckily for me, I was able to manage to just pop this with a mallet, a very light tap with a screwdriver, because sod's law, I've got a 16mm hook spanner and a 25mm, and none of them fit. So I'm just going to pop these off now. So this is just to pop them off, so they'll come off. So my column is locked. I've also got a bit of wood on the bench as well, on top of my table, and the instructions. So just popping these off just now, just nice and slowly. I'm just taking them off both together, and that's that. And I'll just pop them up there. Alright, so that's that. Now, using a 6mm Allen key, I'm going to take the 4 bolts off here, which is the next step. Okay, so bear with it, I'll just do that. So like I say, I loosened these earlier. Now at a later date in the end of the instruction, it does tell you that you need to lock these bolts down. Lock tight these bolts down. I will be doing that, but not today. I just want to make sure that everything runs properly before I start putting bolts on permanently. Well, not permanently, but you know what I mean. Loctite can be a bit of a nippy thing to pull back out. So there's a washer in there as well. So I'm just going to be very careful with these 4 because I need them again. I'm just going to put them in the end of my table. I have to say, I've been quite excited to get to this point. All the videos so far have been not what you would call the most exciting. You know, waffling on about the kit and how nice it is all very well and good, but I don't know about you, I want to see the thing running. So I've got some bits to sort, do the mechanical bit first, and then we can get onto the electronics. Okay, so let's see how this comes off. It should lift, hopefully. Oh, there we go. Better weight than that. I'll just pop that down here on the stand. I'm going to get a bit of cloth, toweling, and just give this area a general wipe. Yep, pretty much looks like the picture I've got on my instructions, which are available on the website, as you know, so that's fine. So now what it says to do is push the Acme thread towards the back and remove. I suspect I need to take this off first, because that's what the picture shows. Am I ahead of a page? I am, I'm a page ahead. So page 7, also remove this. So this is where we remove that. So these are 4mm. Again, they were quite loose. There's a cap in there. I'll take the bottom out first, actually, that might make more sense. Just spin them till you feel them on the thread. There we go. I'm not sure. No, doesn't appear to be a washer in there. I'll put these back in here once I've popped this out. I will be covering all these holes that are left on the side of the machine. Tape just now, and then once this machine's up and running, I may well be able to use the machine to make a cover. Imagine. Right, just be careful I don't drop anything here. That's fine. So this looks like it's going to come out in its entirety with the bevel gear as well. So the problem with this is once I've done this, I won't be able to move the head up and down except we're using the ball screw. I'm going to put the electronics on in a few days. There we go, just pop that out. Here we go. Alright, pop that down there as well. So I'm going to pop the electronics back on, not back on, install them for the first time, sometime next week once I've done the other 2 axes. Make sure everything works as it's supposed to, and then I'll lower this head right down as far as it goes, ready for lifting onto my stand when I get that far. I have a friend that does steel fabrication and blacksmithing, handily enough, and I've had a chat with him, and he's going to make me a chip tray out of galvanized steel. So what I need for him to be able to do that is to be able to tell him the sizes that I need, and I can't really do that until I've got my steppers connected to my bed and what have you, and I can get a good idea of what I'm needing. So here we go. The next step, Having done that, having taken the top plate off and the Z-axis handle, is to push the acme thread towards the back and remove. Hey, here we go. Alright, so that might be easier said than done. Might get a mallet for that. Let's see if I can get a bit of a Could that be that I've got it too far up? No, that's just shifting down the way. Don't want to hit that too hard. There we go. Give that a wiggle is the answer. You can hear the bottom of this hitting the sides of the column. There's not a lot of space in here to do this, by the way. There we go. That's going to be a problem. How they got that in, I don't know. It would appear that block on mine is a bit longer than you would expect. Right, so if we look at this length here on mine is quite short on the part. In here, however, it's quite long, and it doesn't look like I can quite manage to wiggle that. Ow. I may have to, I don't know if lowering the headstock is going to help it, and I can't see how much space I've got on it, to be fair. What I don't want to do is unlock the head, because that wouldn't be very clever. So just trying to go side to side with this. Looks like I've got the one that's got the longer part. Yeah, I think I may need to just turn this till it comes out of the, there's a gear on here for the Z-axis handle. I think if I can move this up out the way, I might get that extra little bit. Certainly won't hurt to try. Nope. That could be a bit of a bugger. It might mean I've got to take the head off to do this, which is annoying. I don't see how they've managed to get that in there, unless they've done it from the bottom. That is the other option. I could try putting the head down, but that'll be a neat trick. I think what they've done is they put this on after they put this in. Because my block is a bit too long. And what I certainly don't want to do is cut anything, because that won't help. I can of course wind this up quite a way. I don't know if that will help. Always the way with these things, you think it's going to be easy and then it's something stupid that stops it. Just watching my fingers in here. I think I may have to take the head off. Because that bolt is rather long. That's a bit of a bugger. And I bet you it's about 0.5 millimetre behind there or something. I can't quite see where the solution is though. So no choice but to pop this back on just now. Which of course means I've now got to get it lined up so that my what have you goes on it. So I need to give this a bit more, get a bit more leverage on this. Right, it goes in anyway. Let's bring it up just a little bit more. I can always put it back down again in a minute. I don't think, even if I was to take the bolster all the way out, that would necessarily help me. Because one thing I can think of is maybe it's just a little bit too far. So let's put that back in there now. Right. Wind it all the way back down. Get the crank back on it. We'll lower the head a little bit and we'll see if that helps. If not, the head will have to go all the way down and I'll have to look at taking the head off. Won't that be fun? I can see quite a bit of video editing coming here, guys. Right, I'm just going to quickly change gloves because these are all grease and ringing and I'm just ready. Right, and I'm going to give this whole area a quick wipe down. Right. Okay. Okay. Right guys, let's get this showing the road as I say. I'll pop this back in. And we'll see where we go. So this, as I say, is one of those things when you're doing these things, you never know what the story is. Obviously, Brian's machine, the block that he's got, just popped out no bother. Mine, on the other hand, is going to be a bit more awkward, and I just don't know if it's a lack of wiggle room on the carrier. So let's pop this back in and get it to engage again. That's it. That's fine. Pop the bolts on, pop the handle on, etc. I'll just pop these in this now. I'll put all four in because, you know, it doesn't take long and we don't want to damage the machine while we're doing anything. Right, just be silly. I'm not in a rush. Yesterday would do, as I say though. So one of the nice things about this is it's a great excuse to buy nice tools, and I'll need plenty. Right. So this machine has an internal gas strut, which means that I can't drop it all the way down and just take the head off there straight away, I don't think. I'll have to have a think about that. So let's pop this back on here just now, very carefully. Put the anti down, James. Make sure there's nothing on that, nothing on there. I think that's what that is there. I'll just do it on that. Just surface it clean. And clean here. Try that again, just try and that's it. Right, let's pop the other bolts back in. We don't like any nasty surprises. And I'll just need to pop the two in here. Mainly because, just to stop it spinning. And as I say, if I have to stop this for the day today, then obviously I'll be putting the ones in. Pop the lock nuts on. I'll just keep an eye on those when I'm winding the handle. Little collections of napkins down there. What am I looking for now? The handle. So first of all, pop this back off. This has been on and off quite a few times today now. And washer. Right, so just pop the handle there a minute. I'll loosen this one off. One turn. oh, take my glove out of the way. Just press that back in gently, and then just line this up with a key. There we go. Put the washer on, and I'll make sure that I don't end up doing something silly by having this disappearing down the thing. Right. It's never straightforward, is it? You know, you think it's going to be easy, and of course it actually isn't. So, bolts in there, they're on there, that's tightened up. Loosen this off, drop that down a bit, tighten that back up, and then pop this back off again. All I can think of doing just now, guys, is this, and if this doesn't work, then I'll have to have a think about how I'm going to take the head off, which doesn't worry me overly much. If I'm going to do that, it's fine. It just means I might wait a little bit longer. By the way, this has nothing to do with the kit. This is entirely the fact that my mill seems to have a longer post for the watch, because you know what's going to happen if I'm not careful here. That key's going to drop and disappear into, what is it Tony called it? The fourth dimension. Do what I did earlier. Let's work that out gently with that. That's it. Make it stay there. This might be about 4 to 5 times I'm putting this together today, guys. I'm going to edit it down though. Right. And here we go again. So let's take these two back out. I'll take these off actually. I'll be an expert by the end of the week. I'll be stripping this done and back together in no time. It'll be like my days in the army where I could strip my weapon in the dark with my eyes closed. I'd like not to have to take the head off, if truth be told, but I might not be getting the option. And if that's the case, it may well be that I wait a bit longer to do that, because if I'm going to take it off, there's no point in putting it back on to then struggle to lift it up onto the stand. Here we go, just being careful with this. That's it. Can't say the bed's not a good fit anywhere. Right, let's be having this off. I don't know if there's any wiggle room in that. You would think I would remember, wouldn't you? Don't like the idea of not having that engaged at the same time as the spindle locks aren't on. Right, this will be the second time we tried this. Right. Okie dokie. Let's see if there's any more play in this now. I suspect not, but we can but try. Yeah, I have no idea how close that feels. Alright, I'll try winding this up again. See if we can get a bit more play in it. But I suspect the head will have to come off. Which is rather annoying. And if you twist it with that, obviously, it's a little bit easier. There's of course a gas struck at the back of that. I think we should it. I don't think that's going to come off. And if I take it off and it's too low, I suspect I'm going to have nightmares trying to get it back on. And that is the only other option, I think. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I certainly don't want to put this down the bottom to then find that can't make it up, can you? It's a gnat's whisker, as they say. You can feel it wanting to go, but it's just not quite. Bugger, 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 bugger. Well, it's not so good, guys. And there's no room at the back there. Right. I don't want to undo that and see if I get a bit of wiggle. Because the answer might be take the gib out, but then I can't lock it because the screws would be pushing on the dovetail way. But I bet you that's the answer. So what I need to do is I need to know what happens if I undo this, slide the gib out, loosen that. Well, I can't slide the gib out until I loosen it. If I loosen it, will it give me enough play? What I don't want to happen is the gas strap to push this all the way up at a rate of knots. Will the gas strap take the weight of the head without this being in place? And that's the thing. Right. Okay, I'm going to get a couple of pictures of this in place, you'll see what the problem is, and then we'll put it back together. That'll be it for today to have a think about that and get some proper advice, because that's how you do these things. Here's the predicament, as you can see, with the head back or up, the back of the block is fouling against the casting, and the pin, if you like, that goes into the X-axis, Z-axis bed is probably about 1 mil too long in my case. That's just luck, as they say. Anyway, we'll see what we can do.